Welcome back everyone for week 2 of ZEPETOR class season 5. Today on this video, I'll be teaching you how to do neon lighting. First, we start off with a multiply layer, then choose like a muted blue. Then on that same multiply layer, use a secondary color for the backlighting. For this, you can choose any neon color you want. I'll be using pink. But also make sure that it's lighter than the blue. Color only one side and make sure to keep in mind on dimensions and also to separate different forms, or in simple terms, shape. Pro tip on these kind of edits: just use the shaded parts of the zepeto as your guideline. This can help you save more time on trying to figure out where to put the lighting. Just like what I'm doing here, I'm trying to do lighting at the neck and collarbone area, but I'm also like making stuff up. This is just to help accentuate or bring out certain areas for more dimension and depth. At this part, we will be using an add layer for the lighting. Using that same pink I use while drawing over the pink parts of the edit. Here, I'm hiding some highlights on the hair by doing small strands and big strands. Here, I'm starting to add some lighting on the nose and the side of the face by almost drawing over the pink on the multiply layer. I sometimes do this as a guide to help me visualize what it will look like. At this part, you highlight your face according to your facial structures. And also, as usual, you can highlight your eyes any way you want. And also, don't forget to highlight your clothes. Oftentimes, I forgot to highlight my clothes because I'm too focused on the face region and the hair region. On this part right here, I am using the transparent palette to add some shadows on the accessories around my zepeto's neck. If you have accessories just like these, don't forget to shade them or do highlights on them. At this part right here, I am adding a multiply layer under the add layer. This will give us more depth and also helps us make it more realistic. I use color picker to help me with color picking sometimes, especially for colors for shading. Here I'm adding some shading around the neck to help more depth and also separates the face from the neck. When doing these kinds of shading, remember to always have a soft and sharp shape. The shadow is originating from the head, make it sharp, and the shadow running down the neck would be softer by the ends, since it's fading away from its origination point. Also, it is more obvious for the sharp and soft ends when the shadow is long. Here I'm exaggerating already existing shadows on the model to give it more depth. Here I am duplicating my character to make a darker clone, then erasing it in some parts. This really helps out on bringing emphasis to some parts of the zepeto, like the face, hair, and body. This might be slightly trickier to do on overlay layer, since I rely on overlay layer to bring emphasis on the colors. I just wanted to bring out the values more instead. Here I'm using the overlay layer to do some lighting. I'll be using a light shade of blue, mostly shade of purple. We'll be applying that to the zepeto on one side, and I mean the lighter side. Here I'm using the add layer for highlights and not the rim lighting. On this part, I'm going back to some layers to fix some stuff that I think that doesn't really work out, or to go back and fix them. Here I'm just adding more glitter. For this edit, I'll be using the flat brush for the highlights on the hair. The flat brush is really textured, so it helps the realistic aspect of the hair. Here we're using the dodge layer for the halo effect. This stage, when I think everything is okay, I go back to some parts that I think are missing some things. So here I'm just like emphasizing the flower and adding highlights and shadows. Here I'm adding a screen layer underneath the zepeto layer. Here I'm trying to add something in the empty spaces that are left in the canvas. You can put anything in here, but also remember to not put too much. And there you have it, we have an neon edit. This might be a lot more simpler than the things that I do, but those edits are more complicated and more than I can explain. So if you have any more questions, feel free to comment it down below. Thank you for watching.